People, you're tuned into the SkyWalker channel. Welcome back. We have to really talk. Seems like Jamaica is going around in circles, but the lease is over. Jamaica must declare its own constitution. Jamaica is not free, and the reason is simple. We never declared it for ourselves. We accepted a lease agreement disguised as independence. We celebrated a flag, a date, and a ceremony, but we never altered our own constitution. We never crowned our own head of state. We never walked out of the colonial house with our own keys. What we call independence in 1962 was not a liberation, it was a handover. The Jamaica Independence Act was passed in the British Parliament. The Constitution was issued by the Queen's Privy Council. The Governor General was installed as her representative, and the final Court of Appeal remained in London. That is not sovereignty, that is supervised autonomy. And now, decades later, we are still trapped in the same arrangement. Our governments work with the lie. They feign ignorance. They act as caretakers for the British crown while pretending to serve the Jamaican people. They speak of republics and reform, but they refuse to act, or they are afraid. They delay, they distract, they dilute. The truth is this: Jamaica's sovereignty is inalienable. It does not require permission. It does not require a two-thirds majority in parliament. It does not require a referendum approved by colonial frameworks. It only requires one thing: a declaration by the people. Because sovereignty is not granted, it is declared. The law must flow from that declaration. If it doesn't, then the law becomes impunitive. It punishes rather than protects. It contains rather than liberates. It becomes a tool of delay, not a path to justice. And that is exactly what we see today. We are told that to become a republic, we must pass legislation. We must get approval from both political parties. We must hold a referendum. But who designed that process? Who benefits from the delay? Who profits from the confusion? The answer is clear. The same colonial structure that wrote our constitution in London. Let's break it down. Let's break it down. The Jamaican Constitution was not passed by the Jamaican Parliament. It was issued by the Queen, by and with the advice of her Privy Council. That means our foundational legal document was born in Britain, not in Jamaica. The Constitution defines Parliament as consisting of the Queen, the Senate, and the House of Representatives. That means every law passed in Jamaica must still be approved by the Queen's representative, the Governor General. That's what it means. Even the process of amending the Constitution is designed to be difficult. Some sections require a two-thirds majority in both houses, others require a referendum. But the core structure, the fact that the Queen is head of state, remains untouched. This is not just symbolic, it is structural. The Governor General can declare a state of emergency. He can appoint the Chief Justice. He can dissolve Parliament. These powers are not ceremonial, they are constitutional, and they are rooted in colonial authority. Now, let's talk about the Privy Council. Jamaica's final court of appeal is not in Kingston. It is in London. The Judicial Committee of the Privy Council hears cases from Jamaica, even though most Jamaicans cannot afford to travel or hire UK based lawyers. This creates a two-tier justice system. The wealthy can appeal to London, the poor cannot. The Caribbean Court of Justice, CCJ, was created to fix this. It is based in Trinidad and Tobago. It is affordable, accessible, and rooted in Caribbean law, but there are issues here. I figure that more than likely Jamaica is going to need its own appellate court. And one drawback is that maybe it makes more sense to stay with the Privy Council because we are already there until we raise our own justice system. And I mean, the reason is clear. There are so many reasons that we dealt with even in another video, but we don't have to even go there today. Maybe another time. But Jamaica refuses to adopt the Privy Council, and I can't be against that part. I can't be against not accepting the Caribbean Court of Appeal at this time. Trinidad is if we are, it is in it's located in Trinidad, and Trinidad didn't accept it. You know, there are issues. Wherever there are issues, I mean, when in doubt, show it out. That's the simple way of reckoning. Even as Jamaican judges lead the CCJ, the government clings to the Privy Council. This is not about legal quality. It is about colonial loyalty. It is about fear. It is about disingenuous leadership. Because the people are ready, but the leaders are not. And this is not meant as a contradiction either. It is just meant that we are not pushing and spearheading any movement to start our own, I mean, appellate court system, nor to do that constitutional reform that is so essential. So don't believe that these words are contradicting. And that brings us to the core problem: ignorance among the masses and cowardice among the elite. The people do not see the trap because they were never taught to look. The education system does not teach constitutional authorship. The media does not explain the lease. The politicians do not clarify the structure. Instead, they perform ceremony, they wave flags, they make speeches, but they never tell the people that the house is still rented. And the governments, they walk with the lie. They pretend to be caretakers for the British crown. They act as if they are bound by tradition, when in truth they are bound by fear: fear of declaring full sovereignty, fear of losing foreign approval, fear of standing alone, fear of doing their damn job. But the truth is this: Jamaica will not be free until the people call out their governments, until they name the cowardice, until they expose the disingenuousness, until they demand a new constitution, not from parliament, but from the people themselves. Because the right to sovereignty is already ours. We do not need a third party two-thirds majority. We do not need colonial permission. We do not need ceremonial approval. We only need one thing: a mass declaration, a people's constitution, uttered in plain language, rooted in land, justice, and ancestral rhythm, ratified in the streets, the schools, the churches, and the communities. No third party approval, no colonial scaffolding. This is not rebellion, it is correction. It is the restoration of authorship. It is the end of the lease. It is the beginning of true independence. And here is how we do it. We launch a mass declaration campaign. We hold we hold town halls. We open digital forums. We engage the diaspora. We invite every Jamaican at home and abroad to contribute to the new constitution. We write it together. Yeah, we ratify it together. We clear it together. We replace the Queen with a Jamaican head of state. We adopt the CCJ. Well, we don't adopt the CCJ, but we set up our own appellate court. We remove the Governor General. We crown our own president. We define our own laws. we appoint our own judges, we speak our own truth, right? Because if the head of state is foreign, the story is not ours. Mm-mm, mm-mm. And even I am sometimes confused with the CCJ argument. And um, yeah, we have to set up our own appellate court in Jamaica. Let's leave it at that. And I mean, it means nothing. I mean, you're stepping out of one house, because I actually said that in the last video. You are in one house and you're stepping out, right? It doesn't mean you're gonna go into the other house until you go in the new house that you're renting, or the one that you built. You stay in the house until you move out. So we are already in the privy council. We stay there until our own appellate court is ready. We don't have to go to another foreign one, CCJ. It's still foreign to us. We don't. This is not fancy footwork. We are thinking of our own sovereign. Hmm? Because it's still like that. If the head of the state is foreign, the story is not ours, and we are ready to write our own story. This is the next chapter. This is the real republic. This is the moment when Jamaica stops asking and starts declaring the lease is over. Let the people speak. Let the constitution rise. Let Jamaica be free. This was a Skywalker, no nonsense commentary. Thanks for watching.